Germany was long recognized worldwide as a wealthy, developed country with an excellent quality of life. It was known for its peaceful society and efficient public services. However, in recent years, Germany has experienced a significant increase in social unrest and crime. The deterioration in public safety, hospital waiting times, and education quality has become a growing concern. The rising crime and violence, particularly involving gang activities, have alarmed many Germans. Last year, the situation escalated to the point that Germany began considering the deployment of its armed forces to manage the surge in violence. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz stated, "Germany has never seen anything like this before. No other country in Europe is experiencing anything like this. The situation is largely driven by gang turf wars, personal vendettas, and a large pool of disaffected youth, many of whom come from immigrant communities, primarily from Africa and the Middle East." Before World War II, Germany was a linguistically and culturally homogeneous country. From 1871 to 1940, the average number of immigrants was only 6,000 per year, and most came from neighboring European countries like Poland, Italy, and Greece. However, in recent decades, the idea of multiculturalism gained political traction in Germany, leading to an influx of refugees from outside Europe. The proportion of immigrants of non-European origin increased from 2% to 15% from 1985 to 2015. This rapid immigration led to a population growth of more than 1% per year between 2015 and 2019. Well above normal levels for industrialized countries. At first glance, this population growth seemed positive. Many European countries are grappling with aging populations, leading to fewer working-age people to support growing numbers of pensioners. Additionally, an aging population demands more complex and expensive health services. Attracting immigrants is one strategy to compensate for this demographic shift. However, this strategy did not work in Germany because many working-age immigrants simply do not work. Since Germany transitioned from an immigration policy based on attracting workers to one based on accepting refugees from diverse cultures, integration into the labor market has become complicated. Many immigrants end up excluded and dependent on state assistance. In the past, integrating immigrants into the German labor market was not problematic because most immigrants came from linguistically and culturally similar countries. The jobs available were simple, well-defined, and repetitive. Today's labor market, however, demands higher education, language skills, and work experience. Consequently, while past immigrants had high employment rates, many of today's immigrants struggle to integrate into German society and find jobs. In 2015, the employment rate for people aged 20 to 64 was 82.9% for those born in Germany, but only 53.6% for those born outside Europe. This results in a significant proportion of immigrants or refugees at risk of long-term exclusion. When a significant percentage of immigrants cannot integrate into society or the labor market, either due to language barriers, educational deficits, or cultural differences, gangs begin to form within their communities. These gangs often provide a sense of belonging and a means of earning money, which increases crime and violence. It's no surprise that criminal gangs find it easy to recruit young, marginalized immigrants, which in turn heightens crime and violence in Germany. Most crimes and murders occur within immigrant communities. Even former German Chancellor Angela Merkel acknowledged in 2022 that segregation has been allowed to go so far that we have parallel societies in Germany. We live in the same country, but in completely different realities. Massive immigration has imposed high social and economic costs on Germany. The German central bank calculated that the massive influx of immigrants in 2015, the year the country accepted 890,000 refugees, led to a reduction in GDP per capita by 1.7% and an increase in unemployment by 2.2 percentage points. Germany's desire to be inclusive and multicultural by accepting immigrants from Africa and the Middle East disrupted the social cohesion and peace that characterized the country. One might think that the number of refugees arriving in Germany is primarily due to external factors. However, Germany's geographical position and neighboring countries give it substantial control over the number of refugees it receives. The number of asylum seekers in Germany depends mainly on political decisions to relax protection and border controls. Unlike other countries facing similar challenges, such as Greece, Italy, Spain, or the United States, Germany's refugee intake is largely a matter of political will. In contrast, countries like Australia and Canada also accept tens of thousands of immigrants annually, but their immigration is based on employment and labor market needs. In these countries, immigration is relatively more successful because obtaining permanent residency requires immigrants to go through a lengthy process. For example, immigrants arriving as students must pay for their education and purchase private health insurance. To apply for permanent residency, they must demonstrate language proficiency and relevant work experience. This way, the contribution immigrants make to the country's progress is more visible. An immigration policy granting citizenship to a large number of low-skilled immigrants ends up creating beneficiaries of a welfare program. A rich country like Germany, with generous state benefits, cannot have unrestricted immigration in a world with billions of poor people. Nobel economics laureate Milton Friedman once said that a country cannot have free immigration and a welfare state that promises every resident a certain minimum level of income regardless of whether they work. The current German government, recognizing that most crime occurs among immigrants and that marginalized communities are being created, is implementing policies to tighten borders and minimize the number of refugees allowed by the European Union. Beyond the economic strain, Germany's multicultural experiment has led to deep cultural and social fragmentation. Many immigrants have brought with them cultural practices and norms that clash with traditional German values. This has led to tensions and misunderstandings, further dividing communities. Some Germans feel that their cultural identity is being eroded and that they are being forced to accommodate practices that are fundamentally at odds with their way of life. One of the most controversial and alarming trends has been the rise in anti-Semitism and anti-Western sentiments among certain immigrant groups. Reports of anti-Semitic attacks have increased, and many Jewish communities in Germany now feel under threat. The influx of immigrants from countries with deeply ingrained anti-Western and anti-Semitic ideologies has contributed to this worrying trend. This has led to a resurgence of far-right movements and a polarized society where mistrust and hostility are growing. The rise of far-right movements like the AfD, Alternative for Germany, is a direct response to the perceived failures of multiculturalism. These parties have capitalized on the fears and frustrations of many Germans, using inflammatory rhetoric to gain support. The AfD's success in recent elections has shocked many, but it reflects a broader dissatisfaction with the current state of immigration policy. The party's platform includes calls for stricter immigration controls, deportations, and a return to traditional German values. The media has played a significant role in shaping public perception of immigration and multiculturalism. Sensationalist reporting on crimes committed by immigrants has fueled fear and resentment. Social media has also amplified these narratives, often spreading misinformation and stoking division. This has created an environment where nuanced discussions about immigration and integration are often drowned out by extreme voices on both sides of the debate. The long-term implications of these trends are concerning. If Germany continues on its current path, it risks becoming a deeply divided society where different communities live in isolation from one another. This fragmentation undermines social cohesion and makes it difficult to address common challenges. The erosion of trust between different groups could lead to increased violence and instability, further damaging Germany's reputation as a peaceful and prosperous country. In conclusion, Germany's ambitious multicultural experiment has led to significant social and economic challenges. The increase in crime, the strain on public services, and the difficulties in labor market integration highlight the complexities of managing such a diverse population. While the intentions behind multiculturalism were noble, the execution has led to unintended consequences that continue to affect German society. The future will require careful policy adjustments to balance the benefits of diversity with the need for social cohesion and economic stability. The rise of far-right movements and increasing social fragmentation are clear indicators that Germany must reassess its approach to immigration and integration to ensure a more harmonious and prosperous future for all its citizens. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of global issues. Stay informed, stay engaged, and see you in the next video.